Imagine paying $20,000 to fly to a secret island for a luxury festival with supermodels, celebrities, yachts, and five-star chefs. Now imagine stepping off your private jet and realizing you just paid for a hurricane tent on gravel, cold cheese sandwiches, and no way home. This wasn't a cheap scam. It was built by influencers you trust, sold by celebrities you follow, and bankrolled by investors who should have known better. And the craziest part? The man behind it did it twice. This is the real story of Fyre Festival, and why you'd probably fall for it too. Picture this: you can't sleep, up late and scrolling Instagram at midnight. You see it? A single tile on Kendall Jenner's feed. Bella Hadid tagged, Emily Ratajkowski tagged. A private island, luxury villas, VIP wristbands, private jets. You text your friends, "We're going." 2 months later, you're on that jet. Free champagne, selfies from the cabin, your phone blowing up with envy from everyone stuck at home. The pilot points out your island, your private island. You smile. $20,000 well spent? You're not just going to a festival. You're about to post proof that you're special. But then the jet lands. The door opens, and paradise is gone. Before the cheese sandwich, before the viral memes, before the lawsuits, there was a kid named Billy McFarland. Billy wasn't born rich, but he grew up surrounded by rich kids. Private school in New Jersey. Summers in the Hamptons with other people's yachts. He watched the handshake deals, the club tables, the doors that opened when you dropped the right name. He didn't have that name, so he decided he'd fake it. At 13, he was selling fake startup ideas to classmates. At 20, he dropped out of Bucknell to pitch his first real scam, Magnus's. Magnus's was brilliant. A $250 a year black metal card that looked like an Amex Centurion but wasn't. It didn't buy you anything real, but it looked like it did. Swipe it at clubs, hold it at rooftop bars, flash it at the door. The perks were fake half the time. Restaurant reservations didn't exist. Private shows were just glorified happy hours. Members demanded refunds. The press called it a joke. But the vibe worked. Because in New York, the right metal card gets you followers, not facts. Magnus's flopped. But Billy had seen it work. People don't buy perks. They buy status. In 2015, Billy met Ja Rule in a Manhattan club. Ja Rule, the rapper who once battled 50 Cent and sold platinum albums, needed a comeback. Billy needed a celebrity co-sign. Over bottles, they dreamed up Fyre Media, a new booking app for celebrities. Pay through Fyre and Ja Rule will show up to your kid's birthday. That was the pitch. The reality? The app barely functioned. Nobody big was on it. But it sounded real enough to raise money, real enough to lure investors with yachts and steak dinners. But Billy wanted an even bigger launch, something too big to fail. So he pitched the ultimate bait, the festival to end all festivals. Billy and Ja Rule picked the Bahamas. Warm water, soft beaches, secret coves. The vibe was billionaire summer break. They found Norman's Cay, once Pablo Escobar's private drug island. Billy's hook? Party where the cartel used to hide planes. Risky? Wild. Instagram perfect. They hired the best: Bella Hadid, Hailey Bieber, Emily Ratajkowski. For 3 days, they filmed the ultimate vibe ad. Models on jet skis, bonfires at sunset, champagne sprayed on yachts. There was no script. The party was the pitch. When it dropped in December 2016, it didn't feel like an ad. It felt like an invite, a secret you had to buy into before it disappeared. The secret weapon? One orange tile. Dozens of top influencers dropped the same blank square at the same time. No caption, no link. Just a date and the word Fyre. People lost their minds. Tens of thousands of kids opened new credit cards to buy wristbands before they even knew who was playing. And this is where the real scam begins. Within 48 hours, Fyre Festival sold out. The VIP upgrades came next. Beachfront villas, artist meet and greets, yacht parties, chef experiences, personal concierges. Billy promised it all. Staff asked, "Where's the housing plan?" Billy said, "We'll build it." Investors asked for contracts. Billy waved them off with drone shots of the ocean. Norman's Cay's owners had one rule: don't mention Pablo Escobar. The first press article did exactly that. The lease was gone overnight. Billy found a new patch. a dusty corner of Great Exuma, nowhere near private, no villas, no plumbing, no stage. Workers asked for deposits. Nothing. Vendors asked for payments up front. Checks bounced. Billy's solution? Sell more tickets. Spend more on influencers. Kendall Jenner dropped a single Instagram story, $250,000 wired for 5 seconds of hype. No disclosure, just vibes. More kids booked more packages. Some spent their entire savings. Some borrowed from parents. One kid paid $50,000 for a villa upgrade, a villa that never existed. In New York, Fire's office looked legit. Glass walls, startup buzz, champagne Fridays. But behind the scenes, daily meltdowns. Producers quit weekly. Contractors threatened lawsuits. One insider called it a Titanic with VIP wristbands. On Great Exuma, hundreds of locals worked double shifts to build the site. They dug trenches for plumbing that never arrived. They hammered plywood into disaster tents left over from hurricanes. One local, Marianne Roll, spent $50,000 of her own money to feed workers when Fire ran out of cash. She fed people breakfast and dinner every day for weeks. She never got paid. Two weeks before the planes landed, the head of production made it clear. There's no power, no water, no sewage, no stage. Billy didn't care. He filmed himself telling guests to bring cash. It was going to be the party of the decade. In Miami, charter jets filled with trust fund kids and Instagram models ready to make content. Some bragged about the private chef menus they'd paid extra for. Some posted, "See you in paradise." Nobody asked if paradise even existed. April 27, 2017. Guests landed at Exuma International Airport, stepped off the plane, boarded yellow school buses, not luxury shuttles, and rumbled down a dusty road. They expected beachside cabanas. They found rows of white FEMA tents flapping in the wind. Some had mattresses. Most were soaked from the rain. Some had no zippers, no floors. Luggage sat in a giant pile next to shipping containers. People pushed forward to grab any suitcase that looked familiar. One influencer live-streamed his arrival, then shut off his phone when he saw the tents. The cheese sandwich meme dinner? A cold cheese sandwich on stale bread. No catering tent. No champagne. No sushi bar. One photo of that sandwich hit Twitter at 7:04 p.m. By 7:06, it was on every newsfeed. By 8 o'clock, Blink 182 officially pulled out. Guests were stuck on an island with no bands, no refunds, no plan. The storm returned. Mattresses soaked again. Some people fled back to the airport hoping to get out. Inside the terminal, hundreds packed the lobby. Airline staff locked the doors to stop them from storming the runway. Lights went off. People slept on concrete floors, hugging luggage, waiting for flights that didn't exist. Twitter didn't just watch, it laughed. The world saw rich kids with selfie sticks stuck in disaster tents. Reaction videos hit millions overnight. Fire Festival wasn't a party. It was a cautionary tale for an entire generation. Parents called lawyers. Banks processed thousands of chargebacks. Ja Rule tweeted, "It's not fraud, it's just bad." Nobody believed him. Back on Exuma, locals begged for their money. Dozens of small businesses ate the losses. Many never recovered. Marianne Roll, the local caterer, drained her savings feeding guests stranded in the rain. It took a Netflix doc and a viral GoFundMe to get her money back. Billy never paid her a cent. Billy fled back to New York, telling investors it was all postponed. The FBI didn't buy it. He was arrested, charged with wire fraud and lying to investors. The case was airtight. Fake bank statements, fake contracts, fake wire receipts. While out on bail, Billy pulled his final trick, a fake VIP concierge scam. He sold non-existent tickets to the Met Gala, Coachella, the Oscars. Same hype, same email lists, same victims. When agents raided his penthouse, they found spreadsheets of new targets. Billy got 6 years. He served 4. Behind bars, he bragged he'd do it again. And when he got out in 2022, he did exactly that. TikTok clips showed him teasing Fire 2. No details, no real plan, just the same vibe. It'll be better this time. Some people even sent money. Because here's the scary part. The next Fire is always just one perfect Instagram post away. Fire Festival wasn't really about tents or cheese sandwiches. It was about what happens when you buy status over truth. One orange tile made more money in a day than some real festivals do in a year, because people weren't buying music. They were buying proof they mattered more than everyone else. Billy didn't build a festival. He built an illusion people paid him to believe. Next time you see an influencer selling paradise, remember the cheese sandwich. Next time you see a new drop promising exclusive wristbands or a secret island, remember the tents on the gravel lot. The best scams don't steal your money, they steal your questions. Billy McFarland didn't sell paradise. He sold people the chance to pretend they were invited. And the world paid for it, twice. If you stayed this long, subscribe to Midnight Watch. Because next time someone promises you paradise, you'll see the truth before you swipe your card.